She sat there, staring at the flickering candle in front of her, wondering if this was what disappointment looked like: quiet, humiliating, and slow. The waiter had already asked her twice if she wanted to order something while she waited. Her hands trembled slightly as she adjusted the hem of her dress, a dress she had carefully chosen for tonight, the one she thought made her look confident. But with every passing minute, that confidence melted into doubt. Maybe he changed his mind. Maybe she was never good enough for anyone to show up for. Her name was Emma, a 32-year-old woman who had spent the last few years convincing herself that love would find her when she least expected it. But here she was again, alone at a table meant for two. Her friends had talked her into trying a blind date. He's different, they said. He's kind, mature, and ready to settle down. She'd laughed it off, but secretly, she'd hoped this time might be real. After all, how many times could one person start over? The restaurant was warm and softly lit, filled with the hum of other people's laughter and the clinking of glasses. Couples leaned in close, sharing jokes, sharing lives. And Emma? She just kept glancing at the door. Every time it opened, her heart jumped, then sank again. The waiter approached once more, this time with a sympathetic smile. "Would you like to order now, ma'am?" She forced a polite smile. "Just a few more minutes, please." But as another 20 minutes slipped by, she finally sighed. "You know what?" she whispered under her breath. "Maybe some people just don't show up." Just as she reached for her purse, preparing to leave, the restaurant door opened again. A small girl, no older than 5, walked in, holding a tiny pink teddy bear and wearing a yellow coat. She looked lost for a second, scanning the room, until her eyes landed on Emma. The little girl's face brightened as she ran over, stopping right in front of her table. "Hi," the girl said, slightly out of breath. "My daddy's sorry he's late." Emma blinked, confused. "I'm sorry. What?" The little girl pointed toward the door where a man now stood, tall, wearing a dark coat with tired but kind eyes. He was holding a bouquet of tulips, looking both nervous and apologetic. Their eyes met, and for a moment, everything around them went silent. The laughter, the chatter, even the music, all faded into the background. He walked toward her, his step slow but certain. "I'm so sorry," he said softly. "I didn't plan for it to happen like this." Emma didn't know what to say. The little girl climbed onto the empty chair beside her, placing her teddy on the table like it was part of the conversation. "Daddy was helping a lady with her car. He said being kind is more important than being on time," she said proudly. Emma felt something in her chest shift, a warmth that replaced the bitterness she'd been holding on to. The man smiled at his daughter, then at Emma. "I know I'm making a terrible first impression," he said, sitting down. "I'm Daniel, and this troublemaker here is Lily." Lily giggled. "Hi, are you going to be my new friend?" Emma laughed for the first time that night. "I don't know, maybe. Are you always this friendly?" "Only to people Daddy likes," Lily said innocently, making Daniel blush. They talked for hours, about everything and nothing. Daniel told her about his late wife, who had passed away 3 years ago, and how Lily was the reason he learned to live again. Emma shared her own story, the heartbreaks, the loneliness, the hope she kept pretending she didn't have. And for the first time, neither of them felt like they had to hide the pain that made them who they were. By the time the restaurant lights dimmed and most people had left, Emma realized she hadn't checked the time once. She didn't care. She was exactly where she was supposed to be. When they finally stood to leave, Daniel hesitated. "I know this wasn't how blind dates are supposed to go," he said, smiling nervously. "But maybe, would you like to see us again? Maybe we could all go to the park this weekend." Before Emma could answer, Lily tugged her sleeve. "You have to come," she said seriously. "Daddy makes the best peanut butter sandwiches in the world. You'll love them." Emma laughed, and for the first time in years, she said yes without fear. A few weeks later, Emma found herself at that same park, watching Lily chase butterflies while Daniel set up a picnic blanket. The sky was golden, the air soft with the scent of spring. Emma turned to Daniel. "You know," she said quietly, That night, when you didn't show up, I was going to leave. I thought it was just another failed date." He smiled, glancing at Lily. "Sometimes, the best things in life don't show up on time. They show up when you're just about to give up." Emma nodded, feeling tears sting her eyes. But this time, they weren't from sadness. They were from gratitude. She had waited for someone to see her heart. And when she least expected it, a little girl walked in and brought her hope back. As Lily ran back to them, holding a wildflower in her tiny hand, she placed it in Emma's palm. "For you," she said. "Daddy says pretty things belong with pretty people." Emma smiled, her throat tightening. She looked at Daniel, then at Lily, and whispered, "Tell your daddy." He finally showed up, and in that quiet moment, surrounded by laughter, sunlight, and second chances, Emma realized that sometimes love doesn't arrive with fireworks or grand gestures. Sometimes it walks in late, holding a teddy bear and saying, "My daddy's sorry he's late." Because real love isn't about timing, it's about finding someone who shows up even when they're late and stays long after everyone else has gone.